I'm Phil Bolton with the Global Atlanta News Service, and today I'm at the World Leadership Conference Awards ceremony with Admiral Tim Ziemer, who has come from Washington and spoken to the attendees at the conference concerning U.S. health policies. Welcome, Admiral.
Phil, it's good to be here.
Tell us about U.S. involvement in terms of health issues globally.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say and obvious that the United States government looks at health as a major part of the overall foreign assistance global investment. If you look at the amount of funding that flows from Congress to support the President's objectives, health ranks up there with a high percentage of tax dollars investment. I would venture to say that those dollars are spent well and are having a significant impact. I represent the President's Malaria initiative and really pleased that over the last 5 years, the U.S. government investment in the global fight against malaria has gone up significantly. Not only do we have political leadership at the President's and the congressional level, but we now have backed it up with significant funding.
You started working for USAID, I take it, under the Bush administration. And do you see a consistency of policy since that time?
Yes, I'm a political appointee. I was asked by the previous administration to lead the interagency global initiative against malaria. It's a USAID-led. I'm hosted at USAID, but my task is to coordinate with the other agencies like CDC here in Atlanta. Our team works very closely with Dr. Tom Frieden and his malaria unit because they offer so much on the technical and the surveillance and the analytical piece. But we also work with the Department of Defense. They have some very significant research laboratories around the world. We also work with the Health and Human Services and NIH. We also work with the Peace Corps and have partnerships with the Peace Corps and other organizations. So I am responsible for coordinating all of the U.S. government agencies to carry out our specific goals that were set up when the malaria initiative was launched. Those goals were pretty specific. The funding is targeted to achieve those goals, and to date, we're pretty much on track.
Let's talk about the CDC for a moment, because malaria goes right to the heart of that organization.
Right. Historically, CDC, Atlanta was chosen as a place for CDC to actually establish itself from its establishment in the 1950s. One of the goals was to eliminate malaria as a infectious health problem here in the United States, and they helped achieve that goal. Since then, of course, CDC has expanded into the world-class, very, very significant organization that it is.
You talked about the advances that have been made against malaria and that it's been specifically targeted because you think that you can eliminate it worldwide. How close are you?
Yeah, malaria has been with us for thousands of years. And if you look historically, after the Second World War, there were 200 countries that were plagued with malaria. Today, we've made progress. About 50% of those countries are no longer endemic malaria countries. We still have 104, and we're losing close to 1 million people a year. And the shame of it is we know what causes it, we know how to prevent it, we know how to treat it, and yet we're still seeing that malaria has a tremendous impact on the health system as well as the economic climate in the communities that it's impacting. We look at malaria as not only a health problem, but it's a community development problem. If we can reduce the footprint of malaria, not only do we turn the tide of a major burden on the health system, but we free up a significant wiggle room in the development community. Kids can go to school, moms and dads can work in the field. I have some statistics if you're interested in where we are now working with Emory University. Dr. Deb McFarland right down the street, and she's providing health economic parameters that we are starting to measure, so that as we make progress in the fight against malaria, we can see the direct correlation, not just in health, but also the impact that it's having in a positive way on the community.